Hello all sentient beings and welcome to the Transmissions Podcast, where we talk all Hasbro, Takara, and third-party Transformers! On this episode of Transmissions, Toyhax has a Volkswagen Beetle's worth of new stickers. Transformers Siege Powerdashers Skydasher and Drilldasher are revealed, and Hasbro readies to move production out of China. Today is Wednesday, July 31st, 2019, and this is episode 340 of Transmissions.
Welcome to Transmissions, the podcast that, because of Trump's trade war, is moving all its recording to Vietnam. I'm your host, Charles, aka Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast.
That's me. And let's talk Transformers.
All right, we are operating at half capacity this week, but Daryl tells me it's full TFCon capacity, so we should be in good shape.
It's true.
And Daryl, how are you feeling now? You're back up to full power? I
am, yeah. I don't know whether it was mentioned. I don't think you mentioned it on the show last time. I did listen, but I hurt my back just before the last recording, so I needed to take a break because I couldn't sit for a long period of time. And we generally are down here recording, or I'm in my basement, so it's downstairs. But I'm sitting down for about 3.5 hours while we record, and that was not a possibility last weekend. So I needed to kind of back away from the show last week.
Yeah, so we got a note from your doctor, and your medical excuse is granted. So
fantastic!
You won't be docked any pay.
I appreciate that.
Well, you get paid zero, so it's not that big a difference.
I gotta get a new agent.
All right, yeah. So Jeremy is actually in Pittsburgh this weekend, but yeah, he's on a trip with the family, so sadly can't join us. But his echo is hanging around the chat room right now. So
his Yako. Oh.
And Yoshi's streak is just finally broken, so no Yoshi this week. Hopefully that means Yoshi next week, but we'll see. All right, well, let's start off like we always do by thanking our Donatreons, those lovely people who give us money on Patreon and PayPal. You guys are awesome, and we really love you guys, and thank you for your continued support. That helps us keep the show going. And this week, we want to give a shout-out to Will, who recently increased his pledge. So, Will, you're giving us even more money, and that's awesome.
Oh, it's Will. How you doing, Will? Thank you very much for your increase in the donations, Will. I very much love you.
What is this a new Yoshi? Who is this? That doesn't sound like Russian Yoshi. Who is this?
I got a cold. What are you talking about?
Bring Daryl back.
I have not been here for so long. You don't want to talk to me?
Well, Daryl knows everything about the toys, and we need him for the show.
This Daryl, he knows nothing. I listened to the last two shows. You guys do very well without him.
Well, I like Daryl. I don't care what Russian Yoshi says.
Oh, you very kind. All right, I bring him back. Oh, boy. He just barges right in. He's got some serious Russian hacking skills going on.
Yeah, Daryl, you might you need to change the locks in your house. I don't know how he keeps getting in.
It's not even. I don't. He's not here physically. He just barges right into on the call. You don't see that.
He takes over your mic. Takes over your computer.
He does.
You need a new computer.
Maybe this 486 isn't cutting it anymore, Charles.
All right. Again, want to thank Will for upping his Patreon pledge. Also, I wanted to give a shout out to Alpha Magnus, who we hung out with at TFCon a couple weeks ago. I showed off the rubber wheels he gave us in trips to the store last week, but I just wanted to let everyone know that you can get your own from him by going on he can go either on to his Patreon or his Etsy shop and get those wheels, and he's selling them for $10 unpainted from his store, or if you sign up for the Patreon, then he will give you painted version. So patreon.com/alphamagnus or etsy.com/shop/alphamagnus. So,
those are really cool. I got a set as well, and they are really, really awesome. Yeah, I really hope he continues to do them for other vehicles too, so we get a whole bunch of different rubber tires for different things.
Yeah, and these ones do fit for they're Ironhide, but they should fit on the upcoming Ratchet and Crosshairs. Although I think he's making thicker versions for Crosshairs. So
cool.
Stay tuned. All right, and if you can't support us, actually, I should tell you how you can support us on Patreon. I didn't mention that. Just go to patreon.com/transmissions or transmissionspodcast.com/support. So lots of ways there to support us both on Patreon and PayPal. If you don't want to do that, you can buy merchandise. Just go to our TeePublic store, and that's at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. And you can also check out our friend of the show, K-Girl, and her store is teepublic.com/user/superstark. Now, before we get into all the toy stuff this week, I did want to mention Mike's new podcast, Empire of Rust. So our amazing producer and editor, Mike Ordway, has started his Transformers, the first, best, and only Transformers RPG podcast, Empire of Rust. Episode 2 was out last week. Episode 3 will be out next week, so stay tuned for that. And we've got a little bit of feedback on Empire of Rust. So first up from Skirt, he left this in our Discord chat. Skirt, one of our very active donatrons on Discord. He says, this weekend finally listened to the first 2 eps of Empire of Rust. Really digging it. Everyone is doing a great job getting a feel for the world and the characters they're developing. Also, great job on the voice work, Mike and Big C, for the blaster outro at the end there. Thanks, Skirt. And check out, as you listen to more episodes, there'll be even more outros. I believe the one last week, or the first episode, was from one of our donatrons, number 1, Derek. I think Daryl's got one in the mix there too, so stay tuned.
I did do one, yeah. I gotta listen to yours. I haven't heard yours yet, so yeah. Yeah,
and Mike also did some. I recorded, I just recorded it normally, but he did some awesome audio processing. So yeah, he made me sound even more transformery than I already do, which is. You're
very transformery, Charles. I sometimes have a hard time distinguishing you from the actual robot that I usually think you are. So, yeah, I have to say, Mike is very particular. We know he's particular because he works with our show all the time and demands excellence. But I had to re-record my outro like 3 times, Mike. And each time I gave him a couple different ones to choose from, and he was like, "Yeah, it's good, but do it again." I'm like, "You son of a bitch!"
But you did it gladly for all the hours and hours of editing he does for us,
without even complaining at all. I didn't even think about strangling him at all. I did it. Yes.
And we'd have another bit of feedback, and this was left on the YouTube episode, post of the episode, for episode 2, and this comes from Brendan. Brendan says, this is so cool. I've always wondered what a D&D style game would work as a Transformers game. And making your own characters is fun. Wish I could join in, but I don't have any role-playing game experience with these types of games, unless playing Elder Scrolls Skyrim counts. And my voice would not sound good on audio. Still, love the series and hope it grows.
Nice.
Thanks, Brendan. And yeah, keep listening. So, episodes will be out every 2 weeks. So Mike's been doing recording sessions pretty regularly. So I think they're building up a good backlog. So, we won't run out of episodes anytime soon. So keep listening. All right, well, we got lots of toy stuff to talk about, so let's get right into some toy news.
All right, so I wasn't here for the last 2 shows, but what I wanted to do for the next little bit, next couple weeks anyway, is I wanted to do like a HasLab Unicron watch and see how the War for Cybertron Unicron backers and how many backers it's getting on the crowdfund. So we can kind of keep track of this on a weekly basis. So we know from the first 24 hours that it was up, because I was still in the building that TFCon was being held at, that it exceeded 1,000 backers in the first 24 hours, and that was pretty impressive. Then it slowed to a snail's pace, and it has since picked up a little bit, but we're here. It's currently July 28th, and we are sitting here with 2,042 backers. I should refresh that first. Still the same, yes. So we are still a good chunk away from the target of 8,000 backers, but we do still have 34 days, 2 hours, and 19 minutes. So it's there's some time. So if you're looking to get in on this, it's not sold out yet. You got time, so get in on that.
Well, I think also 8,000 is the minimum, so they will still keep taking orders if they get over 8,000. Oh, sure,
yeah.
So.
That's I don't know why I said sold out, but it's not funded yet.
Yeah.
But we're going to keep doing this. I'm going to make a point to bring this up until the end of August, which is when the crowdfund ends. So look for us to kind of keep track of this. Keeping with Unicron, though, the Unicron has now showed up, and they're taking pre-orders for it live for Japan in the Takara Tomy Mall website. So I don't know whether it's clear if this is going to count towards. I haven't read this. It doesn't look like it's counting towards the 8,000.
Yeah, I think there was an interview with one of the Hasbro reps where they asked this specifically, and they said no.
Right.
The Takara orders will not count towards the crowdfunding. So
okay. So the pricing on this is a little different. They're obviously advertising it at 70 centimeters tall. It's the same height. The price on this is 75,600 yen, which is approximately $696.05 US. So it's, again, approximately just over $100 US more, give or take 20 or so. Yeah.
Why did you just say 120?
Because with the conversion, you're going to lose on that all consistently over the days, right? And
okay.
And with that amount of money, you're going to lose quite a bit. That's why I said.
Okay. That's
why I said it, Charles. That's why I said.
It's not metric money, it's just regular money.
You're still going to lose. Anyway. So it's over $100 more. Anyway, if you're thinking, oh, I'll go with the Takara Tomy version, well, it's more expensive. That's now happening.
I guess the game you have to play is, I guess with the Takara Tomy Mall, it's not like there's not a question mark. Like if you put the pre-order in, you're pretty much guaranteed to get it. And
right.
With the HasLab, if they don't get all their backers, then you won't get it. So I guess that's the game you have to play.
Right.
So,
and that's a different game. Obviously, that's something that's kind of different for Hasbro. They've only just started doing this, right? We can go into my thoughts on Unicron, because I think you wanted me to do that as well, right?
Yeah, because since you weren't here last week, Unicron and SDCC in general, any reveals that stuck out in your head from SDCC? Okay,
so let's start with Unicron. Well, no, I'll save Unicron because I got a bunch of opinions on Unicron. So the reveals on SDCC, there weren't many, actually. There weren't a lot of reveals.
Mm-hmm. Right.
We got the reveal of Ratbat, which I thought was really cool. I'm excited about Ratbat and Rumble or Frenzy, whoever you want to call him. I don't care. It's a cool. You're going to get the other one. He'll come eventually with, I don't know, buzzsaw, I guess. So there you go. And we get all the tapes, and that's cool. I love the fact that we're getting tapes in 2019. It's fantastic.
Cybertronian data pods or something.
Sure, whatever you want to call them. I'll call them tapes. It's, I guess I mean they're shields. If you want to get technical as to what they're doing on Soundwave, they're shields because they just plug into his arms, I guess. But they're tapes. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. The reveal of Rung blew my mind that they actually made a Rung figure. Now, I was kind of confused because it appeared on day 1 or 2, and then they never said anything else about it, right? It didn't appear in any of the slides. They never mentioned it on any of the panels. And I think they took it out of the display case.
Did they?
I'm not entirely sure. It's been a week, right? So I'm not entirely sure. Either way, I'm certain that they never mentioned it during any of the panels when they mentioned all the upcoming stuff that they have coming. That tends to make me think that it's further off than we'd like. I'm still excited about it. I just wish it was, closer. It looks done. I mean, it's definitely not in prototype. It looks ready to go, but, how far along is it? I'm excited for it. It's definitely really cool. Deep down, I wish it was bigger, but I'm going to take what I'm going to get, and the fact that they have a Rung figure means that they've trademarked the name, right? And they may want to keep this name for something else. There's a little bit of business backing behind that as well. They may want to use the name Rung in a future toy. So this one here, this Legend Scale one, or this Target Master, or whatever you want to call him, he will have to exist for 3 years, I guess. This is the turnaround for toy names, I think, is they get the license for the name for 3 years as long as they make a toy, and then they have to make another toy, so or they lose it, right? So yeah, so I hope that they make another one after this, but I'm pretty stoked to see this one.
They didn't have a toy of him, but they did mention him in the packaging of the Combiner Wars characters, like when they put the profiles on the I think they had the profiles in the back of the comic pack-ins for Combiner Wars, and they had the profiles were written by Autobot psychiatrist Rung, so that's cool. So the Hasbro folks are aware of Rung, so yeah, I guess they can put him in other stuff going forward, and just use that character. He probably won't turn out to be Primus, but no. He's
and I'm fine
he can
with
still
that.
be that character. Yeah.
I just like him being the anomalous stick thing, and just being the guy who's you didn't really know what he turned into. I honestly, that was my favorite part of Rung, was I didn't know, nobody knew what he turned into, and that was fine, right? But yeah, no, I'm happy with the Rung figure. Like I said, I wish he was a little bigger, but maybe that'll be next version of Rung. What else was revealed? Just trying to kind of go. The Impactor and Mirage stuff. It's the fact that they're now made the 2-pack a 3-pack. It's okay, I guess. The third figure in there is a Powerdasher. Okay, sure. It's not it's not really exciting for me at all, but it is cool that they're kind of making those. Obviously, as of last week, at the time of reporting, we didn't really know that the other two were coming. But as of previous panels and questions, they've always answered the same. They say that if they make one member of a sub team, then they will finish off that team. So when you see the first Powerdasher, you're obviously thinking to yourself, okay, well, they're going to make the other ones, and obviously today we're going to get the to talk about the other reveals at the Hong Kong show where they revealed the other two. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, but as far as the 3-pack, the Impactor, I don't think they changed much. I think he's got a new head and maybe a slightly different paint. Mirage being like blue clear plastic or something like that, that's not a big deal for me. I don't care.
Yeah, and then having him have a Decepticon sign, I don't know what's going on there.
I think that's just the kind of the verses. They're trying to lean into the verses. So Mirage is very obviously an Autobot. And Impactor is very unknown in the grand scheme of Transformers, right? So they're like, you know what, we can make Impactor a Decepticon, and not many people are going to know. So, you know, I think that's probably the thought behind it. They want to lean into the verses, give one Autobot, one Decepticon, or two Autobots, or whatever the hell the Power Dasher is, but yeah. Anyway, it's cool. I mean, I'd like to mess with the Impactor just to see how it works, but at the end of the day, I'm not really impressed with it. It's very gappy. Yeah. But yeah, it's neat. I'm not looking at any pictures right now to kind of remember what was at SDCC, but it's let's just get into the big boy then. Unicron was revealed on the Monday right after TFCon ended, and man, if you were in the building at where TFCon was held, that was the only thing being discussed, and you could walk around the halls of that building, and you could just see everyone just kind of passing their phone around. Did you see this? Look at that! Look at this thing! Oh my God! They need $8,000. It's almost $600. It's $850 Canadian. Oh my God! Right? So, it was pretty exciting on the Monday to see that they've done this. Yeah, it's funny because Diecast from RFC and I had the discussion because they had obviously just come out with the announcement that they're doing the Cookie Monster. And he's like, they're going to do a Cookie Monster before a Unicron, and he was upset. And, you know, and then here we are on the Monday, and now he's overjoyed. It's, it's an interesting kind of turn. But as far as Unicron goes, it's, okay, so it's big. It's really big. The planet mode is gorgeous. It looks really cool. The fact that you can spin the front of it and make the kind of teeth open and close on the maw, it looks really, really awesome. This thing is the quintessential piece for an 86 movie display. Like, it looks amazing. It's 19 pounds, right? And I want people to think about that when you want to transform this thing, right? So every picture we've seen, it has a stand in it. This thing is being held up by a stand. So is that what's going to be necessary to transform it? Because, I mean, if you were to just hold up 19 pounds of books, right? And you're going to start flipping through the top book, I don't know how long you're going to be able to hold that pile of books, but at some point you're going to have to put that thing down. And in this Unicron, it may not be in a state where you can just set it down, right? Or else it's going to break something. So I'm assuming that the stand is going to be a very vital piece to this display. The robot mode is very good looking as well. The face sculpt is pretty awesome. I've seen some comments online that the yellow for the the paint could be a little bit more orange, and that's getting kind of nitpicky. But you know what? It's a pretty expensive figure, and they possibly could match that if they really wanted to, But it's still pretty nitpicky. I'm very curious to know what else this thing does. Obviously, we see the rotating ring on the outside when it's in planet mode. We see that its eyes light up, its mouth opens. It's pretty articulated. Does it make any sounds? Like, is there any noise that it does? Does it have the voice of Orson Welles in it? Like, that would be pretty cool. Does it open up anywhere? Does the chest open up to reveal, like, Springer and RC and Cup and Daniel running around on the inside? That'd be pretty awesome. It's got a lot of kibble, and this was a discussion that kind of maybe killed it for a lot of people.
Right.
So the legs, and a lot of the pictures you do see are dead straight on, and it does hide it quite a bit. But if you do see some of the shots that were taken at the SDCC, where people kind of walked around the display case and got a nice video for everyone, the kibble on the legs and the kibble on the back really are quite egregious, and it's understandable because the thing becomes a giant planet. The downside, or the other side of that coin, is that it's a $575 figure, which is exorbitantly expensive for a toy, right? This is a collector's item. Yes, okay, it's a highly articulated action figure if you want to go into like Hot Toys kind of territory, but this stuff should be cleaner, right? It should kind of compact in and of itself, and I was hoping that it would be a lot cleaner than this on the back of the legs and the back of the figure. Now, the question, when I left TFCon on the Monday that this thing was announced, I was backing this thing. It was a done deal. As the week progressed, as I got to last weekend, and even through this weekend, and even through this week, I had to kind of sit down and not even reassess my finances, because if I wanted to make this happen, I could probably make this happen, right? I'd have to have a discussion with my wife. That's that's necessary when you're going to spend this kind of cash, right?
Yeah, that's how it. If you don't have the discussion, that's how it turns into a divorce class figure.
Right? And I've seen that thrown around, and that's very funny. But the idea that I had to have to, the thoughts that I had to have was, first thing is, it's what, 27 inches tall, right? 70 centimeters, 27 inches tall. It's 19 pounds, and that doesn't explain a wingspan either. That doesn't tell you how wide the wingspan is, right? The thoughts that were going through my head is, where do I put it? It's massive. It's absolutely massive. And I purposely keep myself in this one space here, and I'm out of space right now for myself. It's exceedingly big. The idea, maybe I'll hang it from the roof. No, it's 19 pounds, right? It's just too big. And what am I going to hang it from? The little pieces of plastic that are sticking out of it? No, it's too big, right? I could.
You have to build a special harness to hang
You'd
it
have
from.
to. You'd have to build it. You'd have to put it in like a baby Bjorn. Where do you put something like this? I currently have that Fans Toys Phoenix, right? The Jetfire, right? Mm-hmm. And I still haven't found a place to put that thing. And it's not even close to the size of this thing. I had to basically look at my room around here and say, look, it's not getting in this room. And the question then goes to, well, is there a spot in the house where my wife would let me put it? Not a chance. Is there a spot in the room where I would want it to be put? Because I got a young daughter. I have cats that are morons. And so it's just, where would I trust it other than in this room? Nowhere. So it's just, I qualified myself out of it without even needing to discuss the price. Mm-hmm. And that's probably the best thing for me, because once I started factoring the price in, yes, I could have made it happen, but I would have been eating, ramen for the next 6 months. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's gorgeous. I really love it. It's expensive. I really hope that the people that get it or that have backed it succeeds. I hope I know somebody that does it, that I can go and check it out. I've been talking to a couple people in the area. I know DJ Ronan's, considering it. Mm-hmm. And if he does, he's having a party, and I'm going over there, and I'm going to check it out. Yeah, I really hope it happens, and that it's successful. I can't fathom doing it over on my side. It's just, it's too big.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean those are all valid, valid reasons. I mean, I think a lot of people listening to this show might think, "Oh, there's still a month left. Daryl will crack." Right.
Yeah, and yeah, it's one of those things that it's not going to happen. I've looked around my room, and I've said to myself, I need to rearrange this thing. But I mean, I've got over 200 G1 figures that I just recently realized I have to clean because they're all dusty. So I'm like, I got to get those things. They're not really dusty. Like, they're not disgustingly dusty, but I took a picture of one and I could see the dust on it. So it kind of disgusted me. So I have to dust them all now. And that's a lot of work. So I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe I should get more Detolfs and put all my G1s in Detolfs, and that's a lot of work too. So yeah, it's just not happening. I really want to see one. I want to mess around with it. I hope it's worth the money that everyone expects it to. I hope it's for people like Diecast who have been building this thing up in their brains for years. I hope it's everything that they've imagined. I hope it's literally not just an upscaled, leader class figure.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it can stand on its own, because we've yet to see one actually standing on its own. So yeah, it's there's a lot of hopes in here. Obviously we're seeing a lot of prototypes. I don't know. I'm eager to follow it, because there's a lot of stuff that can be still revealed. I hope you get one.
Yeah, it's still I'm still seriously considering it. But yeah, I mean, I also have to figure out where I can put this thing. But yeah, I think I don't know. I mean, and I think I'm gonna try to use this as an opportunity to get rid of some of the figures I'm not really invested in. I do have I bought a lot of stuff like over the last few years, just being on the show. I bought a lot of the the Combiner Wars, Titans Return, Power of the Primes,
sure.
Stuff that I was shiny and I played with it, but now it's like, do I really need this?
Yeah.
But,
it's and I don't want to discourage anyone else from getting it if they're really hyped for it. The opinions that I gave were just mine, and all the situational stuff that I had to have to have a bit of a thought over were just for me, right? Like I said, it's $600 or $575 American, which is not in Canadian, so that has to be that has to be changed into Canadian, which is over $800 Canadian. We're pushing into $1,000 here. There's a lot of stuff I can do with $1,000, and you start pushing into that kind of money, and you're pushing into stuff that you can do with your family at that point.
Yeah,
that's like small renovations or vacations or
2 Blackberries.
at least 2 Blackberries. Yes. Yeah. It's it's a lot of dough, and like I said, I could make it work, but it's one of those decisions that, as a collector and a person in a relationship, you need to discuss that with your significant other. Hopefully you are in a relationship with another Transformers collector.
Yeah, then it's easier. Then it's only you split the cost in half, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean the thing that attracts me is this is kind of a one of a kind thing. I mean, I know last week Yoshi and Jeremy were speculating that if this does get funded, eventually down the line they'll reissue it at some point. I mean, maybe they will. I still think this is something that's really unique. It's not something that you're going to see a lot of random remolds or repaints or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's just something that's kind of a something that ties into the '86 movie. That's always that's a kind of a timeless classic there.
Yeah. I'm not entirely convinced that you will see a lot of reissues or remakes. I don't think we're going to see a lot of recolors or something like this. It's too expensive, right?
Yeah. For
something this large and heavy, right? You're going to get the one color. Whatever. If the car's color is different, then maybe you make a choice and go with Takara's. But it's what you might see are KOs. A downscaled KO, maybe they've done it, right? With so we might see something like that, but it doesn't seem to make sense that you're going to see you bought the one for $600, maybe you'll buy another one for $600, and you'll just have dueling Unicrons. I don't know. That's a tough pill to swallow. Stranger things have happened, so.
That was a good discussion. So we got everything. We got Daryl's authoritative take on on Unicron here.
Yeah, so. I'm the authority on Unicron. All right, so there was another convention that happened. It's Wonderfest, and it happened in Japan over the weekend. And we've got some shots of the Takara Tomy booth and some really nice pictures of upcoming Masterpiece figures and current Masterpiece figures. So up top here, we've got the the new, yet to be released Lio Convoy, and that looks really, really cool. Again, people are still complaining about the two faces, but I think it's probably a moot point. It's pretty awesome that it's being able to pull off two different faces, but to each their own. They did have a Unicron there. It was a prototype, and it was standing there in all its glory. You could, in its gray prototype form, you could really see all the details in the line on the body. So that's pretty cool to see.
Mm-hmm. I believe they also had a great prototype at SDCC too.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah.
There was also, what really caught a lot of people's eyes were the Seacons. They had all the Seacons there in gray prototype, as well as Piranacon, all formed up there. And he looked pretty cool for that last combiner that hasn't been put out yet. He looks pretty awesome, and it does look like you're getting 6, so that looks awesome. And obviously the 6th one, whoever is left over, will become the gun. So I like that. Although
it looks like they... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it looks like there might be one that's dedicated to becoming the gun. Maybe.
I think actually no. It's. I think at least in the story, in the Seacon story, it said they're doing the same gimmick where each limb can become a gun.
Oh, that's awesome! I love that. All right. Well, they had the Nemesis Prime 711 Japanese exclusive. I don't remember him being referred to as Nemesis Prime, but. Did you see that? Oh yes, no, that's right. He's not the He's not the MP10 version. He's the Evasion Mode Prime version. That's the one.
Yeah,
I get it. That's why he's the Nemesis Prime version. All right.
And they also have Rung there. Rung's
is he
prominent there? Yeah.
Oh, I missed him. Where is he? Oh yes, there he is. Little Rung. A couple new things here, but nothing that we hadn't seen at SDCC already. Something that did get kind of pointed out and I saw online is that they revealed one of the shots is a close-up shot of Ratbat, and he's got an eye patch or some kind of patch over his eye, and it's got words on it, and I can't really make them out right here, but they're not Cybertronian. It looks like English. But
oh no, that's a sticker that says "not final."
Oh really? Oh, that's funny. So you don't think it's an eye patch then? Oh, that'd be too bad. No. I think that'd be awesome if he was some kind of pirate. Oh, now I'm disappointed.
There was one other thing that they pointed out on TFW is they have this accessory for their the original big convoy figure. They have this Matrix Buster gun.
Okay. Oh yes, I see it right now. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so cool. I guess if you have Big Convoy or you get the Big Convoy reissue, you can get this separate accessory to have his gun from the series.
Where's it plugging into him?
That I don't know.
that looks like some. Let's go with abdomen, lower abdomen.
Yeah, I'm not touching that. It's a very intimate connection to his gun there.
Yeah. Interesting. Oh, Japan. All right. Oh, that's cool. I think that's a neat looking gun. I question its connection points, but yeah, it's still pretty cool. All right. What else we got here? Okay, yeah, no, I think we kind of covered that. I think I'm done, actually. I'm trying to go over all this stuff, and I think I've got it all covered. They had one last thing here is they do have the Stars set here. I think it's is that the Stars set with the Convoy trophy? Yeah, that's the Stars set, right? So yeah, this is the reissue of that with that Convoy trophy that we talked about before. So it looks that gold chromed Optimus Prime figure, the G1 Optimus Prime figure, looks pretty cool, right? So I mean, I don't know what you'd use that for or anything, but it would look kind of badass just to have an Optimus Prime trophy sitting on your shelf, right? What'd you get that for? I'm a master at transforming Transformers, and they gave me an award for it.
I'm a gold medal in Transformersology in the 2020 Olympics.
Yep. Once upon a time, I won a trivia game. That looks cool. I mean, you could convince all the kids in your neighborhood that you're a master of transforming. But yeah, no, that looks like the rundown on Wonderfest. It looks like a really cool show. It doesn't look like it has a ton of Transformers stuff, but yeah, it looks like it would be a fun show to check out if I was ever in Japan.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like at least Takara Tomy has a booth there every year. So
oh yeah,
it's probably good to check out.
Right on. Well, what did you find this week, Charles?
All right. Well, since Jeremy's not here, I have to cover the business segment, and so. First up, we've got, there's a trade war heating up between the United States and China, and that's disrupting a lot of businesses because, of course, a lot of things are made in China. And one of those things is toys. So Hasbro is reducing its toy production in China. And currently, they produce 20% of their products in the United States, and 67% come from China. But they are going to reduce it to under 50% by 2020, and they were going to move a lot of production to India and Vietnam. So the CEO of Hasbro, Brian Goldner, was on Mad Money with Jim Cramer. That's on CNBC, and you can see the video that's linked on the TFW site. We'll link to that. Of course, Jim Cramer. I don't know how he's still on TV after his credibility was shot after the financial crisis 10 years ago, but he's still got a show. So Google Jim Cramer on The Daily Show with Jon Stewart, and you'll see some stuff. So anyway, yeah, that's weird. That's the 10th anniversary of all that craziness. So toy production, this of course this translates to us higher prices for toys. I think we're already seeing that with the new Siege figures are all about. All their toys or their size classes are all bumped up about anywhere from $2 to $5 increases in price. So prices will continue to rise.
Can only imagine how much they'll go up here. They've already gone up so much. So,
yep. All right. So next up, as you mentioned earlier, Daryl, we got more information on the Powerdashers. So the first Powerdasher, and it looks like all the Powerdashers are remolds of the Siege Battle Masters. So the first Powerdasher that was shown at SDCC was a retool of Cog. And the next two are retools of Brunt and Six Gun. So we've got some pictures of these Powerdashers here, and there's a video as well. So all that's linked on TFW. Powerdashers, they were the mail away figures back in G1, I believe. Mm-hmm. So if you collected all the robot points, you could save up and get these guys. I don't think they really made it into much media. I think maybe they had a cameo in some Dreamwave comics back in the day, but nothing really beyond that. Do you have any Powerdashers, Daryl?
I have one. Yeah.
Okay.
I have the one that they showed at SDCC, whatever his name is. The race car one that looks like a terrible race car.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of fondness for the Powerdasher designs.
They're not a great toy. The original G1s are not fantastic at all.
So I guess with using the weaponizers as the base for these, I guess at least you have some replayability. That you can take them all apart and turn them into guns and stuff.
Oh yeah,
so.
No, I like the idea of using the weaponizers. Yeah, it definitely gives you the ability to do way more stuff.
So look, I don't think we have any more info about when they're coming, but yeah. This is just the first reveal, and this one was at this was shown at Hong Kong's ACG. So that was a video by Toys TV on YouTube. Was shown at this toy show at Hong Kong ACG. I don't know what that stands for, but that was the show it was at. All right. Next, we have Flame Toys showing off some of their upcoming models. So we've got a IDW Rodimus, and we've got Optimus Primal, Leo Convoy, and Big Convoy. So some interesting choices. I like the Rodimus looks really cool. The Beast Wars figures look cool, too. So Optimus Primal, of course, the Gorilla, Leo Convoy, and Big Convoy, the Mammoth. So, yeah. We only have sketches, so we don't really we can't see the model kits yet. These are just some initial sketched designs. But, just give us a taste of what we can look forward to. Any of these model kits interesting you?
So... Which ones are the model kits, or which ones are the? So the Rodimus is not the model kit. That's the super expensive ones.
Oh right, yeah.
And then the sketches are going to be the model kits, I guess, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yep, that's right.
So, I like the Big Convoy. Something about his mold I really like. Just the elephant tusk or the mammoth tusks coming out the back up above his shoulders. I really like that look. It looks so cool. The Leo Convoy, I'd have to see, or Leo Prime, they're calling him here. The lion head on the shoulder looks really big, so it may be out of proportion. So probably just Big Convoy. Optimus Primal is cool, but yeah, I don't know. If I'm gonna get one of these, it'd probably be Big Convoy. Especially if it's in the, obviously the original colors, the brown and stuff. It just looks badass. And
I like the Rodimus because it does look like it's very much based on Alex Milne's design from More Than Meets the Eye. I'd like to see like a colored image there, but this is like a kind of a black and white silhouette. But yeah, looks cool. All right, last thing for me is we've got scans from that Figure King magazine. So this is Figure King issue 258 from Japan. And this magazine has a bunch of images for like all the figures that have shown up at SDCC and all the upcoming masterpieces, and particularly that Unicron. So one thing I like in this magazine, in one page they show the Unicron figure next to the 2003 Armada Unicron. So I'm looking. I have the Armada Unicron standing on top of my Detolf, and I'm looking up at it, and just looking at how it's about like half the height of this new Unicron, and I'm like, yeah, that's not going to fit. That's going to be poking into the ceiling there. So that really gives you a sense of the scale of how big this thing is. Mm-hmm. And they also show like the old Unicron prototypes, the one that was made in 1986 but never produced, and then one that was made in 1999, and then the 2003 Armada Unicron. So it's nice to see the evolution of Unicrons. We also get a glimpse of the MP19 Plus smoke screen. So this is the anime version smoke screen. So another Dotson brother gets a second reissue, and we've got some of the, like, we've got the 3A model figure of Optimus Prime from the Bumblebee movie, which actually looks really nice and looks very articulated. Like, it can go into lots of different poses. And then we've got the Blitzwing from the Bumblebee movie. Really looks nothing like Blitzwing. Mm-hmm. Still looks like Starscream. But okay.
That's a beautiful model, though. Like, it looks really good.
Just call it Starscream.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And the rest is all, like, the Siege stuff we've seen before. There's the Gold Prime that we just talked about. Yeah. Yeah, so I guess that is all the toys for me. So let's finish up the toy section with some rapid fire.
Absolutely, positively, definitely. Nobody can get the job done faster than I can. Nobody.
All right. Well, we've got a July 2019 update from Toyhax. And we're going to start off with new Siege labels. They've been working hard on getting some new stuff together. And if you were at TFCon, you saw a lot of these sticker sets available. So first up, they've got one for Siege Jetfire. And it is both G1 and Macross style details. So next up, you've got Siege Thundercracker and Red Wing. So if you liked the set that they did for Starscream, then you will probably like the set they did for Thundercracker and Red Wing. It's a set of labels for the figure and parts to add a little bit extra to that top wing. Next up is Siege Red Alert. Then we've got Siege Galaxy Optimus Prime. And then Siege Green Light. They mentioned in the email that Green Light did not have an awful lot to go on. So they pretty sure they figured it out, but because there wasn't a lot of reference material for her. And next we've got Siege.
Yeah, she's like a background character in like one episode of the cartoon.
Exactly. So, yeah. Kind of made some stuff up. Next, we've got Siege Pterodaxodon. This is one of the what would you call it? The Target Masters. Yeah, Battle Masters, Target Masters. They made this kind of a G2 swoop inspired, and then they also did a set for Aimless as well. On to Takara Tomy. They've got a new set for the Big Powered, and that's the one that's kind of remolded off of what was it? The Sky Shadow and all those other guys, Misfire and Top Spin, I think all three of those. They remolded those into Big Powered. Also, Toyhax is still doing their cell shaded game, and they're making a whole bunch of these things. So they just finished a set for Combiner Wars Devastator. So if you wanted to put some cell shading on that, you can definitely do that. A new set for Unique Toys Runman or Bluzzing, I guess it has two names. I don't know. Nice cell shaded set for him. X-Transbots Ollie. So if you've got Ollie, he's a wheelie figure from X-Transbots. They got a cell shaded set for him. Also, there's two cell shaded sets for X-Transbots Boost. So there's an A and a B. The A is more of a white, and then the B is a black window with cell shading. Then we've got Bad Cube and their Grump. It's their Gears figure, and they've got a cell shaded set for him. And then we've got Ace Tumbler. It's their Cliff Jumper figure, and they did up a cell shaded set for him. And lastly, they have one third party set that they did this month, and it's for Fans Toys Quietus. And they did up some nice labels up for him, and they add a bunch of details that the figure didn't have when released.
Well, weren't those all those cell shaded ones third party too?
They were, but they were just cell shaded. They weren't a
Okay.
new set. They were just for the Windows.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you're interested in any of those, hop on over to Toyhax and pick them up.
Yeah, and we are scheduled to do our drawing for July, but since Jeremy's not here, he has the random number generator, so we're going to wait for Jeremy to come back with his Alexa to do the random drawing for us. Next week, everyone.
Yay.
Yeah, it was nice. I think I showed off last week I got the Laserbeak set from Toyhax at TFCon. So yeah, those guys are cool.
Have you done it yet?
No.
Oh.
I put the guns on Laserbeak, but I haven't put the stickers on yet. So got to do it. All right. So that's all the rapid fire, and let's move on to some trips to the store.
The Transmissions Podcast will return after these messages.
All right, this is where we show off all the awesome, amazing Transformer stuff we got this week. We do this as a video segment that we show on YouTube, so you can see everything we got in beautiful high definition. And you can see everything we got. But you can keep listening to the podcast here, because we'll put the audio right here in the show, so you can listen to us describe everything in loving detail. But you should check out that YouTube video, because, seeing is believing.
And I work hard on it.
So without further ado, trips to the store. All right, I'm still digging out from my backlog of TFCon stuff, and I got some new stuff too, so got some stuff to show off. But I know Daryl's got a buttload of stuff since he didn't make it last week. So, and it's just the two of us, so we've got to show twice as much stuff.
I thought I'd never hear you say those words.
And that's probably going to be easy for Daryl. For me, it's a little bit of a struggle. All right, I'll start off. First up, I made it out to Hallmark, and hey, got me a Bumblebee ornament. My collection continues. Thanks to DJ Ronan, I got the Optimus Prime, and I haven't missed a year since, so keep them coming. We have an awesome listener and supporter, Donatreon Dale, who goes to San Diego Comic-Con every year. And every year he emails us and says, hey, anything I can pick up for you at TFCon or San Diego Comic-Con? And every year we take him up on his generous offer. So this year he got us the convention-exclusive cover of Transformers Ghostbusters #1.
Cool.
So there it is.
Thank you.
Dale. Yeah, Dale, you're awesome. Thank you, Dale.
Very cool, Dale.
Also, he included just as an extra bonus, they had a poster.
Oh, cool.
Advertising Transformers Galaxies.
That's very cool.
So this is, I think this is this the Nick Roche cover? I think it is.
Looks like it.
Yeah. So you can see there's the Constructicons, and then there's Devastator in the background there. This is a neat one. We only got 2, so I don't know. We'll have to fight it out. Dale also got us the Omnibots trading card set. So I think Daryl and I were the only ones interested, so we took these. I haven't opened it yet, but I think it's just the 3.
What's
the 3
inside?
Omnibots cards.
What?
The Omnibots.
Oh, okay.
Dale also sent me a bunch of he wasn't interested in the trading cards, so he sent me a bunch from comics that from the issues that he bought, and he got the trading cards. So bunch of cards he sent there's a common Megatron, a rare RC, so this is looks like Transformers Prime RC.
Cool.
Motorcycle version. And a uncommon Autobot Mirage.
Nice. That RC, so. I know a lot of people I think are after that RC.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if any of us are interested in it. Maybe we can make it a giveaway or something. I don't know.
Sure.
Not making any promises, people. But here, I'll show one pickup I got at TFCon at a parts party. Titan's Return Top Spin. I never saw a Top Spinner Twin Twist in the stores, so it was nice to find this guy. I believe he's a retool of the Misfire, I think. All right, I think that's all the stuff I'm going to show off. So,
I did get a bunch of stuff at TFCon and prior to TFCon and post TFCon. I've gotten some stuff, but I'm going to get rid of stuff, or I'm going to show stuff off that is large so that I can put it away and get it off of the desk and away from here. First up, this is something that I did before TFCon, but or not before, but I've done it with a different piece, and I picked up another piece when I was at TFCon, and I tweeted out a picture when I was there because I was really happy with it. But on our way back from TFCon, my wife wanted to stop at IKEA, so I bought a frame, and now it's in a frame, and this is the original piece of art by Alex Milne with the comic book art beside it. So it's pretty big.
Oh, nice.
And so I did that. It's pretty cool. So this will be up in my house somewhere. I do have permission to put this outside the room, so this is it's big enough. So
first appearance of Tarn.
That is the very first appearance of Tarn. Although according to Alex, he did appear in the shadows in like issue 5, I think he said. I'm like, well, this is him, and this is the one I did before, just to kind of show I do have this going. So now I do have the same frame on both. So that's the other one I've got. But yeah, so those are fun. They're neat and they're pretty cool. I like having the original art and then the actual finished product beside it, so it makes it look shows like the progress. If I ever have anybody over, they can see it. This I got this week. My comic book store put out a post and said, "Oh, we got in all these Transformers," and I made a request that they hold one thing for me. This is a reissue, but it's one that I've never had before, so I wanted it. This is the 2001 reissue of Gajinrai.
Oh.
So this is just the box, but it's the Japanese release, so I wanted that. And here he is here in all his craziness. Yeah. So the missile is not in there because it's still on the sprue in the box, and I wasn't going to break it off. So, but yeah, he's pretty cool looking. He doesn't even have his stickers applied, so I'm gonna maybe do that, but probably not, because it doesn't matter to me that much. I'm just gonna put him back in the box and put him up. I gotta find a spot. He's a big box to go up there, so yeah. But he's pretty cool looking. Yeah, I like it. I already have a Power Master Optimus Prime, but it's got Jinrai. Gotta have got Jinrai. It's different.
He looks pretty shiny. Looks like
he's very shiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, very shiny. Yeah.
So he must have sat in the box for all those years, or well, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah.
And this one here, I'm going a little closer so I can get a good picture of you. This is not Refractor. This is actually Fans Toys Spotter. But I figured I was going to take him out of the thing anyway behind me, and I was like, you know what? I've never put them together, so I put them together. This is just me having fun. But he looks pretty good, actually. This is pretty cool. This is Fans Toys Spotter. Looks like a really good camera. This is Refractor.
Oh.
So
slight difference.
So, I mean, this is mass retail. This is $200. Yeah. So, I know that the San Diego Comic-Con, you saw the release of the refractor with the extra bits and the toy colors. It's going to look a lot better than this one. But yeah, so I'm still happy I got this, and I'm looking forward to maybe Toyhax doing some stuff to make this one look a little better. But it's neat. It's the fact that it does it is cool enough for me. Yeah. So it looks good, and it's got its own little stand, and it does its thing. It's cool. Let's take a break from the toys and do some comics. Huh? Let's do that so I can put them away. This is Transformers versus Ghostbusters #2. This is the combining cover by Dan Schoening. This is Transformers versus, or no, they're not versus, just Transformers Ghostbusters. This is is it Nick Roach?
No, that's Priscilla Tramontano.
Oh, Priscilla. Okay, cool. So this is cover B with Starscream through the no ghosts sign. This is just Transformers #9. I don't know who did this cover either.
I think that might also be Priscilla.
Okay.
Maybe. Not sure.
This is the cover that Jeremy arranged for us all. The kids comics cover.
I remember to bring that to you.
You did. Thank you. Yes. This I got from my comic book store. This is just IDW Beast Wars #1. It's kind of shiny, so yeah, I picked it up. I found this. This was at Thomas Deere's booth, TFCon. I just saw it sitting on the ground, and I was like, is that a More Than Meets the Eye sketch cover on the ground there? He's like, yeah. I'm like, will you sell that? It's like, yeah. Do you want anything sketched on it? Like, no, just the book, please. So this is a More Than Meets the Eye sketch cover. It's the 2013 convention edition. It's number 17. So it's not number 1, which is what I was looking for, but it's a blank sketch cover for More Than Meets the Eye. And, so that's, I was looking for one of those. Now another cool thing that was happening, and I don't know whether you mentioned it, Charles, but this is, Sarah Peter DeRoche had all of her comps at, TFCon, and in 2 comic book boxes there, and nobody really even seemed to care. So on like day 2, she's like, "Hey, do you want comics?" So I'm like, "I like comics, yes." Like, flip through these and see if there's anything you need. And there was not a lot in there that I needed because I had them all. But I came across 2, and I'm like, you know what? I don't have those covers, and ironically, they're both very similar. So this is the Montreal Comic-Con Till All Are One #1 exclusive cover. This is the same book that we did. This is just a different cover.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And, of course, I got her to sign it. And then this one is actually Unicron #1. And it is a Virgin textless variant. Which, according to Jimmers, I was talking to him about it because he's like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs when it comes to Transformers comics. This one's pretty hard to get. It's like a 1 in 50 or something like that. So, yeah, this was a pretty cool get. It was $5. That's all she wanted.
And thanks, Daryl. You gave me the hookup, so I got one of those for me too. So
you got it.
That'll be on next week's trip to the store.
Let me keep going here just so I can move some stuff out. Thanks to Duggernaut. This was prearranged for TFCon. I've wanted a Masterpiece Starscream with Coronation kit forever. I've been looking for just a Coronation kit because the Masterpiece Starscream that I have right there does not have it. Well, I just bought another Masterpiece Starscream with a Coronation kit. Just because.
So you will sell the old Starscream, right?
Maybe I will. But this thing looks gorgeous, and I'm feeling it now. It looks pretty awesome. Yeah. And last one for today. I was looking for something on the last day of the convention because I for some reason, I didn't think that I had bought enough yet. And I came across this guy. This is not Perfect Effects. This is Perfection Series, so Ocular Max. And this is their hoist.
Oh.
Yeah. So I got this guy, and he's really good. You know, he looks really decent. I like him. And his transformation it's kind of tough, but it's not too bad. He's got rubber tires, and they're really cool. And yeah, he's really well articulated. And yeah, masterpiece scale. Looks pretty awesome. I like him. He's not one of the flashy guys, and he's not one that you generally go out and say, you know what, I am getting that hoist. No, he's one of those background guys, and you know what? I've been meaning to get a grapple, like a masterpiece grapple, and if I get a masterpiece grapple, I gotta have a hoist. So here he is.
Master Builder is complete.
Exactly. That's my favorite episode. I guess that's enough for today.
It's plenty. It's a lot.
I've still got lots more too.
Yeah.
TFCon always wrecks me. TFCon is a bad thing for me.
Yeah, it's a little it's a money pit there.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, that'll do it for Trips to the Store.
We now return to the Transmissions Podcast.
All right. Well, we are back from our trips to the store, and that will do it for this episode of Transmissions. Thanks, everyone, for listening and hanging out with us, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
Later.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to this episode of Transmissions. But just because this episode is over doesn't mean the Transformers fun has to stop. Join us and other Transformers fans on our Discord chat server by visiting transmissionspodcast.com/discord. If you would like to learn more about how you could support the Transmissions Podcast, just visit transmissionspodcast.com/support. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you again next week.
Do 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 do.
Doodaloo. If it was by reading one of these stories and it doesn't really tell us where it was, just that it happened. Okay, well.
Absolutely positive that knowing that that's there. It's fast. Nobody. Do, 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 do.
And I work hard on it. No, I don't.
I wasn't going to say anything.
I could hear you thinking it.
Wow. You are efficient.
It doesn't get said enough. Because I'm not. Whack, 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 whack.